Welcome to Hoops Junction. Vladimir here, and today we're talking about one thing that ails all basketball players, and that is muscle cramps, aka Charley horses. When growing up, Charley horses were like one of the worst things that I could ever have playing a basketball game. It would always happen at the wrong times. I'd always feel my leg buckling into my calves, and I could not play the rest of the game, or I would be ambulatory pretty much. I would just be awful. I couldn't move. I couldn't really slide, so it would really hurt me. And I know a lot of my friends, they used to catch Charley horses while they were sleeping. So in the middle of the night, you're getting your Z's, all of a sudden, pop! And then you know what I'm saying? You're yelling like crazy. So today I'm just going to share a few things that I've learned about Charley horses and a few things that have worked for me. I am not a doctor, so this is not necessarily professional help. This is just what works for me, and maybe you could try it, maybe it'll work for you. Well, one of the first things you have to understand is what are Charley horses, and pretty much Charley horses are muscle spasms or muscle cramps, and usually they occur in your leg. So now that's out of the way. Why do they occur? Well, Charley horses occur due to multiple things. The top three that I've found and that I've understand for me is it either occurred because of vitamin deficiency, dehydration, or overexertion. And another thing is muscle tightness, which I'll pretty much go into all of them. Well, let's talk about vitamin deficiency. When you're deficient in things like magnesium and calcium, those are the main minerals and vitamins that go in your body, and they allow you not to cramp up. You know what I'm saying? So like when you're playing basketball or any kind of sport, you're losing like a lot of electrolytes. You're losing a lot of the vitamins, a lot of things that are in you. That's why you ever hear the Gatorade commercials, like they put all the stuff back in you that you lost or whatever. Well, part of the vitamin deficiency is your diet. If you're not having like a good diet, then you're not getting magnesium and calcium. Like you're not getting magnesium, things like bananas and other fruits and vegetables, then you're pretty much screwed. You know what I'm saying? So like one of the main reasons that you can combat that is by taking a vitamin, taking like magnesium or calcium, or just taking a regular vitamin like one of these. I'm not gonna show it because I'm not getting paid for it, but just taking a vitamin, one a day or anything like that, once a day, it can help supplement not having the vitamin deficiency, not having the vitamins that you need. Another reason why Charley horses occur is due to dehydration. Now, a lot of people think like, okay, I'm hydrated, but it's not true. They say like, on average, people should be getting about 8 glasses of water, drinking 8 glasses of water every day. But most of us don't. Most of us don't even drink like 2 glasses of water every day. Really, if you're an athlete, you should be drinking about a gallon of water a day. And if you're playing during the season, probably 2 gallons of water a day. Now, if you don't know what a gallon of water looks like, I got one for you here. This is what I drink every day. I drink a gallon of water every day. If I'm playing sports or not, I drink a gallon of water every day. So that's what you should be doing, especially if you're an athlete, because when you're sweating, you're perspiring, you're losing water. The thing about Charley horses and things like that is like when you lose water, your body cramps up. You know what I'm saying? Like your muscles, they tighten up because there's not enough flow. Like people's body were made up of like, I think it's 90% water, 80% water. So you're not giving your body enough water. It tends to shut down, especially when it's time to perform. So make sure you're drinking enough water. And when you drink water, make sure you drink it all throughout the day. Not like right before a game or, you know what I'm saying, like right after a game. Like you have to drink it all throughout. So if you ever watch like an NBA broadcast, everybody's drinking water before the game, they're drinking water during the game, they're drinking water after the game. That's what you need to adopt. You just need to adopt the mentality to keep drinking water, keep drinking. You need to be a fish. You need to be a fish. Another thing is overexertion. Now, if you overexert your muscles, especially like in your legs or anything like that, it's gonna kill you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like let's just say you're in the season and you're working out and you're balling and like you're doing extra stuff on the side, like you're not getting enough sleep. It's gonna kill you. And if you keep overexerting that muscle, whether it's the leg, the arms, or your back or whatever, you're gonna get cramps in it. It's just natural. Now maybe you could find different ways to train smarter instead of just training harder all the time. Maybe you could do a few workouts and space them out a day at a time. But overexertion is just overexertion. You gotta figure out ways to limit the use of that muscle, whether the cramps are happening, whether Charley horses is happening. So if it's your legs, maybe you go for a run 2 times a week, or you take the 2-a-days and then you might space it 7 days a week. Figure out different ways in your schedule to do less exertion, or wrap your schedule around to make it smarter, not harder. Okay. Now finally, muscle tightness. Muscle tightness comes from basically not stretching, and I am the key culprit in this. Growing up playing basketball, I never ever stretched. Never ever. So as I grew older, I learned something which is very important. Stretching is like the key to not getting Charley horses. It's like one of the keys to not getting Charley horses. So we already said that vitamins, water, use, so overexertion and use, and finally stretching. Stretching is very important. You got to make sure that you warm up properly before you play a game of basketball, and you have to stretch afterwards. Kobe Bryant's dad always told him, hey son, if you want to know what it feels like to not walk for 2 days because you played basketball the day before, well, don't stretch after a game. You always have to stretch. And this is coming from a pro to another pro, because Kobe's dad did play professional basketball. So from a pro to another pro, and he's disseminating that information to us. So you just got to really follow it. You really have to stretch after games. That's the key, because like a lot of times I remember growing up, when I would play basketball, I would just pretty much play a game, go home, shower, relax, and that's it. I wouldn't stretch. And then the next day I'll be wondering why I'm walking with a limp. And you know that limp I'm talking about. That limp, or my calf feels like a damn softball. But that's because I did not stretch. And you have to stretch. You have to stretch after a game. Warm up properly before a game and stretch after a game. Stretching cools down the muscles. It stretches them, and it lets blood flow go to the muscles so it could reduce cramping. So hopefully those tips help. Hopefully you learn a little something that can help you. I know Charley horses are a mother. You know what I'm saying? Like they hurt like hell, man. There's no worse feeling in the world. I remember a few years ago in the finals, everybody was criticizing LeBron James for getting cramps and making fun of him, saying they turned off the AC or whatever, or he couldn't play through the cramps. He's not clutch, yada yada. I mean, I want to see you try to play through a Charley horse. It's one of the worst feelings in the world. It has to be like, if it was like 7 wonders in the world, it would be like 7 worst feelings in the world. And Charley horse had to be up there. This is Vlad from Hoops Junction. You can check out more of my content on www.hoopsjunction.com. The link is in the description. Hoops Junction, where hoops meets hoopla. Peace.